Hello, Shalom. Welcome to day 48 of Daily Bread. We'll be reading Exodus 9, 1 Samuel 9, Psalms 55, Proverbs 17, and we finished off Mark. We're going to be starting in Job, chapter 1. We'll be reading out of the Scriptures 2009 version, Exodus 9, on page 65. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Go in to Pharaoh and speak to him. Thus said Yahweh, Elohim of the Hebrews, Let my people go, so that they serve me. For if you refuse to let them go, and are still holding them, see, the hand of Yahweh is on your livestock in the field, on the horses, on the donkeys, on the camels, on the cattle, and on the sheep. Very grievous pestilence. And Yahweh shall separate between the livestock of Israel and the livestock of Mitsrayim, and let no matter die of all that belongs to the children of Israel. And Yahweh set an appointed time, saying, Tomorrow Yahweh is going to do this word in the land. And Yahweh did this word on the next day, and all the livestock of Mitsrayim died. But of the livestock of the children of Israel, not one died. Then Pharaoh sent, and see, not even one of the livestock of Israel was dead. But the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Fill your hands with ashes from a furnace, and let Moshe scatter it toward heavens before the eyes of Pharaoh, and it shall become like fine dust in all the land of Mitsrayim, and it shall cause boils that break out in sores on man and in beast in the land of Mitsrayim. So they took ashes from the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moshe scattered them toward the heavens, and they caused boils breaking out in sores on man and beast. And the magicians were unable to stand before Moshe because of the boils, for the boils were on the magicians and on all the Mitsrites. But Yahweh strengthened the heart of Pharaoh, and he did not listen to them, as Yahweh had said to Moshe. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Rise early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say to him, Thus said Yahweh, Elohim of the Hebrews, Let my people go, so that they serve me. For at this time I am sending all of my plagues unto your heart, and unto your servants, and unto your people, so that you know that there is no one like me in all the earth. Now if I had stretched out my hand and struck you and your people with pestilence, then you wouldn't have been cut off from the earth. For this reason I have raised you up, in order to show you my power, and in order to declare my name in all the earth. You will exalt yourself against my people, in that you do not let them go. See, tomorrow about this time I am causing very heavy hail to rain down, such as not been in Mitsrayim from the day of its founding until now. And now bring your livestock to safety, for all that you have in the field, for the hail shall come down on every man and every beast which is found in the field, and is not brought home, and they shall die. Those among the servants of Pharaoh who feared the word of Yahweh made their servants and livestock flee to the houses. But those who do not set their heart on the word of Yahweh left their servants and livestock in the field. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Stretch out your hand toward the heavens, and let there be hail in all the land of Mitsrayim, on man and on beast and on every plant of the field throughout all the land of Mitsrayim. And Moshe stretched out his rod toward the heavens, and Yahweh sent thunder and hail, and fire came down from the heavens. And Yahweh rained hail on the land of Mitsrayim. Thus there came to be hail, and fire flashing continually in the midst of the hail, very heavy, such as not been seen in all the land of Mizraim since it became a nation. And the hail struck in all the land of Mizraim, all that was in the land, both man and beast, and hail struck every plant of the field and every broke tree of the field. Only the land in Goshen, where the children of Israel were, where there was no hail. Pharaoh then sent and called for Moshe and Aaron and said to them, I have sinned this time. Yahweh is righteous, and my people and I are wrong. Pray to Yahweh, for there has been enough of the thunder and hail of Elohim. I am letting you go, so that you stay no longer. And Moshe said to him, As soon as I go out of the city, let me spread out my hands to Yahweh. Let the thunder cease, and the hail be no more, so that you know that the earth belongs to Yahweh. But as for you and your servants, I know that you do not fear before Yahweh Elohim. And the flax and the barley were struck, and the barley was in the head, and the flax was in the bud. But the wheat and the spelt were not struck, for they were late crops. And Moshe went out of the city from Pharaoh, and spread out his hands to Yahweh. And the thunder and hail ceased, and the rain was not poured on the earth. And Pharaoh saw that the rain and the hail and the thunder had ceased. Yet he sinned again, and he hardened his heart, he and his servants. And the heart of Pharaoh was strengthening. And he did not let the children go out of Israel, as Yahweh had said through Moshe. First Samuel chapter 9, 287. And there was a man of Benjamin, whose name was Kish, son of Abiel, son of Tusahor, son of Bechorath, son of Abiv, and a Benjamite, a mighty man of power. And he was a son whose name was Saul, young and handsome, and there was not a more handsome man than he among the children of Israel, taller than any of the people by the shoulders and upwards. And the donkeys of Kish, father of Saul, were lost. And Kish said to his son, Saul, please take one of the servants with you, and arise, go seek the donkeys. And he passed through the mountains of Ephraim, and through the land of Shalasha, but they did not find them. Then they passed through the land of Shalem, and they did not there. Then they passed through the land of the Benjamites, but they did not find them. They came to the land of Sufar, and Saul said to his servant, who was with him, Come, let us turn back, lest my father stops thinking about the donkeys and be worried about us. And he said to him, See, there is the city, a man of Elohim, and the man is esteemed. All that he says comes true without fail. Now let us go there. It could be that he shows us the way to go. And Saul said to his servant, But look, if we go, what do we bring the man? For the bread of our bags is all gone, and there is no present to bring to the man of Elohim. What do we have? And the servant answered Saul again and said, Look, I have here at hand 1/4 of a shekel of silver, and I shall give that to the man of Elohim, and he shall make known to us our way. Formerly in Israel, when a man went to inquire of Elohim, he spoke thus, Come, let us go to the seer, for the prophet of today is formerly called a seer. And Saul said to his servant, Your word is good. Come, let us go. And they went to the city where the man of Elohim was. And they went up the hill to the city. They met some young women going out to draw water, and said to them, "Is the seer here?" And he answered them, and said, "He is. Look ahead of you. Hurry now, for he came to the city today. For the people have a slaughtering on the high place today. As you come into the city, you are going to find him before he goes up to the high place to eat. For the people do not eat until he comes, for he blesses the slaughterings. Afterwards they who are invited eat. And now go up, for you shall find him about this time." And they went up to the city. They were coming into the midst of the city, and saw Samuel coming out toward them to go up to the high place. And Yahweh had revealed to Samuel in his ear that day, before Saul came, saying, "A man from the land of Benjamin, and you shall anoint the leader. You shall anoint him leader over my people from the hand of the Philistines. For I have seen my people, because their cry has come to me." And when Samuel saw Saul, Yahweh said to him, "See the man of whom I spoke to you. Let this one govern my people." Remember last chapter, Saul warned about having a sovereign king. What will he do? And Saul drew near to Samuel in the gate, and said, "Please inform me where the house of the seer." And Samuel answered Saul and said, "I am the seer. Go up before me to the high place. You shall eat with me today, and tomorrow I shall let you go and make known to you all that is in your heart. As for your donkeys that were lost 3 days ago, do not set your heart on them, for they have been found, and on whom is all the desire of Israel. It is not on you and all your father's house." And Saul answered him and said, "Am I not a Benjamin, of the smallest of the tribes of Israel, and my clan the least of all the clans of the tribes of Benjamin? Why then do you speak like this to me?" And Samuel took Saul and his servant and brought them into the hall, and gave them a place at the head of those who were invited. And there were about 30 men. And Samuel said to the cook, "Bring the portion which I gave you, of which I told you to set apart." And Samuel said to the cook, I read that right. And the cook brought out the thigh with its upper part, and on it, and set it before Saul. And Samuel said, "See, what was kept back, it was set aside for you. Eat, for it has been kept for you for this appointed time," saying, "I have invited the people." And Saul ate with Samuel on that day. And they came down from the high place of the city, and Samuel spoke with Saul on the roof. And they rose early, and it came to be about the dawning of the day that Samuel called to Saul on the roof, saying, "Rise, so that I shall go rise, so I send you on your way." And Saul rose, and both of them went outside, he and Samuel. And as they were walking toward the edge of the city, Samuel said to Saul, "Say to the servant to go ahead of us." And he went on, "But you stand here a moment, so that I let you hear the word of Elohim." That's a little dry there. Psalms 55 on page 676. Give ear to my prayer, O Elohim, and do not hide yourself from my plea. Give heed to me and answer me. I wander and moan in all my complaint, because of the noise of the enemy, because of the outcry of the wrong, for they bring down wickedness upon me, and in wrath they hated me. My heart is pained within me, and the frights of death have fallen upon me. Fear and trembling have come upon me, and shuddering covers me. And I said, who would give me wings like a dove? I would fly away. I would fly away and be at rest. See, I would wander off. I would lounge in the wilderness, Salah. I would hasten my escape from the raging wind and storms. Confuse, O Yahweh, divide their tongues. I saw violence and strife in the city. Day and night they go around in it on its walls. Wickedness and trouble were here. Wickedness and trouble are also in the midst of it. Covetings are in the midst. Oppression and deceit do not vanish from its streets. It is not an enemy who reproaches me that I fear that I could bear, nor one who hates me, who is making himself great against me. Then I could hide from him, but it was you, a man my equal, my companion and my friend. We took sweet counsel together. We walked to the house of Elohim in the throng. Let death come upon them, having them go down to Sheol alive. For evil is in their dwellings, in their midst. I call upon Elohim, and Yahweh save me. Evening and morning and at noon I complain and moan, and he hears my voice. He has redeemed my life in peace from the battle against me, for there were many against me. Even he who sits enthroned from of old. Even he who sits enthroned from the old, does hear and afflict them. Salah. These are with whom there are no changes. Those who do not fear Elohim. He has put forth his hands against those who were at peace with him. He has broken his covenant. His mouth was smoother than curds, yet his heart is fighting. His words were softer than oil, but they are drawn swords. Cast your burdens on Yahweh, and let him sustain you. He never allows the righteous to be shaken. For you, O Elohim, to bring them down to the pit of destruction, the men of blood and deceit do not reach half their days, but I trust in you. Well, Proverbs 17 on page 744. Better is a dry piece of bread and rest with it than a house filled with the slaughters of strife. A wise servant rules over a son who causes shame and shares an inheritance among the brothers. A refining pot is for silver and a furnace for gold, but Yahweh tries the hearts. An evildoer gives heed to wicked lips. A liar gives ear to a tongue of desire. He who mocks the poor reproaches his maker. He who rejoices at calamity does not go unpunished. Children's children are the crown of all men. The adornment of children is their fathers. Excellent speech is not fitting for a fool, much less lying lips for a noble. A bribe is a stone of favor in the eyes of its owner. Wherever he turns, he prospers. He who covers transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates intimate friends. Reproof enters deeper into a wise man than 100 strikes of a fool. An evil one seeks only rebellion, but the cruel messenger is sent against him. Let a bereaved bear meet a man rather than a fool in his folly. Let a bereaved bear meet a man rather than a fool in his folly. Whoever rewards evil for good, evil does not leave his house. The beginning of strife is like releasing water. Therefore stop fighting before it breaks out. He who declares the wrong right, and he who condemns the righteous, both of them are an abomination to Yahweh. Why is this a price in the hand of a fool to buy wisdom, when there is no heart? A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. A man lacking heart shakes hand in a pledge. He becomes a guarantor for his friend. He who loves transgressions loves strife. He who exalts his door seeks destruction. He who has a crooked heart finds no good, and he who has perverse tongue falls into evil. He who brings forth a fool has sorrow for it, and the father of a fool has no joy. A rejoicing heart causes good healing, but a stricken spirit dries the bones. One who is wrong accepts a bribe behind the back to pervert the paths of right ruling. Wisdom is before the face of the understanding one, but the eyes of a fool are on the ends of the earth. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her who bore him. It is also not good to punish the righteous one, to strike noble ones for straightness. He who has knowledge spares his words, and a man of understanding is cool of spirit. Even a fool keeping silence is regarded as wise, and as understanding when he closes his lips. Now we're going to start Job on page 759. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and straight, and one who feared Elohim and turned aside from evil. And 7 sons and 3 daughters were born to him. And his possessions were 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yokes of oxen and 500 female donkeys and a very large body of servants, so that this man was the greatest of all the people of the east. And his sons went and had a feast in the house of each on his day, and sent and invited their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. And it came to be, when the days of feasting had gone round, that Job would send and set them apart, and he would rise early in the morning and offer a sending offering, the number of them all. For Job said, It might be that my sons have sinned, yet blessed Elohim in their hearts. This Job always did. And the day came to be that the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan also came among them. And Yahweh said to Satan, From where do you come? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, From diligently searching in the earth, and from the walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said to Satan, Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in all the earth, a perfect and straight man, one who fears Elohim and turns aside from evil? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, Is Job fearing Elohim for naught? Have you not made a hedge around him and around his household and around all that he has on every side? Have you blessed the work of his hands and his possessions and have increased in the land? But stretch out your hand, please, and strike all that he has, if he would not be blessed, if he would not bless you to your face. And Yahweh said to Satan, See, all that he has is in your hand. Only do not lay a hand on himself. And Satan went out from the presence of Yahweh. And the day came to be when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in the house of the brother of the firstborn. And a messenger came to Job and said, The oxen are plowing, and the donkeys feeding alongside them. When Sheba fell upon them and took them away, and they struck the servants, and the edge of the sword, and I alone escaped to inform you. While he was still speaking, another also came and said, The fire of Elohim fell in the heavens and burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them, and I alone have escaped to inform you. While he was still speaking, another also came and said, The Chesedim formed 3 bands and made a raid on the camels and took them away. And they struck the servants with the edge of the sword, and I alone have escaped to inform you. While he was still speaking, another also came. Sorry, lost my place there. While he was still speaking, another also came. The fire of Elohim fell from the heavens and burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. And I alone have escaped to inform you. While he was still speaking, another also came. The Chesedim formed 3 bands and made a raid on the camels and took them away. And they struck the servants with the edge of the sword. And I alone escaped to inform you. While he was still speaking, another also came and said, Their sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in the house of the brother of the firstborn. And see, a great wind came from the wilderness and struck the 4 corners of the house, and it fell on the young men, and they all died, and they are all dead. And I alone have escaped to inform you. Then Job rose up, tore his robe, shaved his head, and fell to the ground and did obedience. And he said, Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I return there. Yahweh has given, and Yahweh has taken away. Blessed be the name of Yahweh. In all this, Job did not sin, nor ascribe wrongdoing unto Elohim. Thank you for my momentary space out there. Some grace with that. But thank you. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible and talk to the Father.